Stella, you like it? I think you do. Hello everybody. Today we're going to go over one of our favorite recipes that we feed our cats. We call it Dylan's Chicken Surprise because we named it after this guy right here. Hey Dylan. Hey Dylan. Dylan. Hey Dylan. Hi. Hi Dylan. You want some Dylan's Chicken Surprise? So this recipe is very easy to make, very easy to freeze, and you can use it up to 3 to 4 months after freezing it. And you can also add some additions. We like to add sardines personally. So let's go over the ingredients and get started. So for our veggies, we use a carrot to a carrot and a half peeled. These are baby carrots that are already peeled and washed. 2 smaller crowns of broccoli and 1 stalk of celery. You're going to need 1 cup to 2 cups of some chicken stock. You can buy this at your local grocery store. Then we need 5 cups of water, 5 of these. You can't have a Dylan's Chicken Surprise without chicken. What we use is 2 chicken breasts. Make sure to cut off the fat before you add it into the pot. Well, that's not much of a list of items you need. Now let's get started. Pop in the chicken stock that you've got and add in your cups of water, followed by the chicken after you've trimmed off all the fat, and we'll go over the veggies in a second. So the next thing we want to add is carrots and celery. What I like to do is cut it lengthwise as best I can, and then try to cut it into 1/2 inch or less pieces. Chop that right up. I'm going to add the celery right now to the water, stock, and chicken. Then we've got some carrots. I've got some little mini carrots here that are already peeled. Makes it easier. Again, I just chop them in half. I don't cut off my fingers. Same thing, 1/2 inch or less pieces. Once you have all your carrots chopped, add them into the pot. Well, I just finished chopping the rest of my carrots. I'm going to add this now to the pot that we got going on over here. I'm going to put it on high heat now, and once I add the rest of the carrots, I'm going to put the cover on it. Great, we've got all the carrots, we've got the celery, we've got the 2 boneless pieces of chicken, and we've got the stock and water. We've got this set on high. We're going to cover it and wait until it comes to a boil. While we're waiting for this to be done, we're going to chop up the broccoli that we have here, and again into small pieces. But we're going to put this aside. This is something that we're going to add later on in the recipe. 1/2 cup of broccoli. Now you can mix it up and try other vegetables, sweet potatoes or whatnot. We use broccoli, they like it. We're going to set this aside, and now all we're doing is we're waiting for the water to start boiling here in the pot. It's covered, and get this process going, and then we'll go. Okay, now that we've got it to a boil, we leave the cover on, turn it to half heat, and set the timer for 20 minutes. During that 20-minute time frame, I stir it every once in a while, but I'm always checking to see if there's any foam that comes up. If you see some foam coming up in the top, I'll remove it with a spoon and discard it. So now that we've got the timer on, what I do is I get a bowl, fill it full of water and some ice in preparation for when the chicken cooks for 20 minutes. I'm going to place the chicken in here and cool it down so that I can shred the chicken quicker and add it back to the recipe. Okay, 20 minutes is up. You want to make sure to check the chicken. It should be cooked all the way through. I just checked it really quick and it is. If it's not, run it a little bit longer, but it should be cooked after 20 minutes. What you want to do is kind of shake off the celery and the carrots if you can, and then just take it, pop it into the ice water here. Same thing with this one. The reason I do this is it saves a little time. Instead of just letting it cool on its own, this will cool the chicken a lot quicker. Because our next thing is to take this chicken and shred it up and put it back into the pot. Okay, chicken's been in here a teeny bit. The ice water, it's feeling good enough to start breaking up and shredding. What I'm going to do is take my broccoli that I have, it's about a 1/2 cup, 2 crowns, dump into the concoction, and I dump that right in there. What I like to do is make very thin slices, and then do the same thing going the other direction when I'm done, and then keep kind of cutting it up there just to make it as fine as possible. The other knife that I have there I'll use is kind of like a chopper. You have a grater or some kitchen scissors you can use, that's also great. Smaller the pieces I find to be better. It seems like a little bit of a fatty section, so I'll put that to the side and study it later. It's another one I found. The same thing, cut it as fine as you can. As the chicken cooks a little bit more and sits, it will mix in a little bit. And again, we use a little masher technique at the end to try to blend everything together and make it that chicken surprise we want it to be. As you can see, I am not a professional chef, but I do love making tasty treats and meals for our cats. We've got 6 cats right now, with more on the way. 4 of our cats are Maine Coons. Dylan, who we named this after, he just came over from the Ukraine, and he's growing every day. We'd like to give him some nice home-cooked meals to add to his diet, and he demands it. Actually, he says, "It's named after me. I want my Dylan's chicken surprise." Kind of a nice workout too. Alright, that's good start here. So we'll add this back in. Again, this is still on medium heat in here. You can also do the little famous hand shredding technique. Now that we have all the chicken in here, all shredded up, we cover it back up, turn the heat back up to high, and bring it back to a boil. If you have a little extra chicken, you can always put a little bit on a plate for one of your friends there to eat. What's this up here, Dylan? You want a little chicken in the interim? Great, we brought it back up to a boil. Next step, just turn off the heat, take it off the heat source, and let it cool for a little bit before the next step. If you got one of these mashers, potato mashers, I think they're great. While it's cooling, I'll sit there, kind of work the vegetables and the chicken together. So now we should talk about storage. We typically give our cats 1 to 2 ounces of our Dylan's Chicken Surprise, and so when we're packaging stuff to put in the freezer, we just take that a note. So I don't know how many cats you have. We have 6, but as we're putting stuff into containers to freeze for future servings, we'll do the math so that we're typically providing enough food for all of the cats to be served twice a day for 2 days. Okay, so we're basically done here. Our last step is we like to take the solid portion of the meal and put it in a container. It's really based upon how many cats you have and how much you're going to be feeding them. We'll add a little bit of broth. I'll usually take a little cup here. The juices will kind of mix in. So, really depends on how many cats you have again and how much you want to serve them. Once I've got everything set up, I'll put this in the fridge overnight and then start serving them the next day. This will be good in the refrigerator for 2 days. The rest of it I'll put in other containers. I don't want to put everything in one container because you got to thaw it out. So I try to make each container about enough to feed each cat that I have in the household for 2 days. Just a quick little tip. I'll take the strainer, put it on top of the container that I want to keep the chicken stock for, and pour in the liquid and whatever's left into this. This core container I'll freeze and use for future recipes as chicken stock. And the balance, I'll actually take that and put it in a container, and that will be the first portion that I give to the cats. I'll leave this one in the refrigerator, and the rest of what I made today I will freeze. Well, thank you for watching. It's a pretty easy recipe. Lasts in the freezer up to 4 months. We never get that far. They love it so much. Remember, you can always add stuff to it afterwards. So if you've got a container frozen that you want to feed your kitten or cats or cat, you can add some sardines. They love it. And you can mix it right in after it's all thawed out, and it's a good variety for them. Stay tuned for some more recipes. We hope that you liked it. Please like us. We like you. And we'll be back to you soon with some other tasty treats for our feline friends. You like it, Stella? Dylan, you like it? You like it? Oh yeah. TT, Althea, do you like it? It looks like you do.